to the situation unfolding in West Kelowna, where fire officials are describing scenes unlike any they've seen before. Let's take you live now to Brady Strachan, who leads us off tonight. Brady, incredibly smoky views behind you now. Take us through just how this began to threaten the community.
Yeah, Michelle, last night, as many people have seen the photos and the video of the fire just up on the crests above homes, and from the Kelowna side looking over to West Kelowna, seeing the fires burning trees and structures. Today, the winds were stronger this morning, but have died down, and now the smoke is really settling in here. There's ash that has been kind of slowly falling down upon us here. I'm at the Evacuee Reception Center in West Kelowna, where people are coming to check and see if they can get a hotel room or meal vouchers and that. And so speaking to people about the ordeal that they've been through the past 24 hours, many people are worried about their homes. They're worried about pets that they weren't able to bring back. And some people are worried that they may have lost everything.
I think my house is gone. I actually came back from Victoria to get here. I wasn't able to get back home in time, but I've tried a couple times, but it's not safe, so I'm just gonna stay where I am and hope for the best.
And we know, Michelle, that there are some lost structures in this fire. In fact, we have photo confirmation that the Okanagan Lake Resort, which is a very well-known resort on the west side of Okanagan Lake, their structures there have burned in that fire. The fire also jumped over the lake to Kelowna, and today there's a fire emergency on the other side of the lake, with several neighborhoods having evacuation orders, and the University of British Columbia just recently having tactical evacuations and asking people there to leave. So there's a lot happening here in the Kelowna area with these aggressive fires.
Brady, an incredibly difficult time for people there. What are some of the other evacuees telling you?
Michelle, it's exhaustion from having to sleep in your car last night and then not being able to sleep because all you can see is the fires burning above your neighborhood. People coming here and having to wait in long lines in order to register and see if they can get a hotel. So we spoke to some people about, just the frustrations and the emotions of being out of their homes with this fire emergency going on.
I've talked to lots of people here last night that lost their homes. So Traders Cove, I guess, it's gone. People were jumping in the water, just like Hawaii. So yeah, it's been a nightmare.
Where did you go yesterday?
Right here, to watch my house to see whether it's going to burn.
And of course, Michelle, as you heard in that clip, fire officials are still very wary of the weather, of this extreme fire behavior. And if the winds do pick up again, there's concern that there could be more structure loss. We still don't know how many structures have been confirmed to be lost, but we know that some have. And so that is on the minds of everybody here in the Kelowna area. Michelle?
Brady Strachan live in West Kelowna for us tonight. Brady, thank you for your reporting. We'll check back with you later there.
Thanks,
for more,
Michelle.
we'll bring in Janella Hamilton. She's been tracking the latest from the province and emergency management. Janella, for those who are evacuating, where are they being told to go?
Well, Michelle, at this point, the regional district is asking evacuees to contact friends and family because hotels, motels, and other tourism operations in the area are at capacity. As for evacuation centers, we heard Brady talk a little bit about it. For those in Kelowna, a reception center has been set up at the Salvation Army on Sutherland Drive. Evacuees from West Kelowna who live south of Traders Cove can go to the information center at Royal LePage Place on Cameron Road. And for those who live north of Traders Cove, a center has been set up at Cal Tire Place on 43rd Avenue in Vernon. Everyone covered by an evacuation alert is asked to prepare or be prepared to leave at a moment's notice.
And Janella, we also heard from officials about a harrowing series of events last night, a rescue of people who did not heed those evacuation orders.
That's right, Michelle. West Kelowna Fire Chief Jason Brolin says residents who chose not to leave endangered the lives of first responders.
We had people trapped. That's the fire chief's worst nightmare. those emergency responders were trapped because they were rescuing members of the public who had chosen not to leave.
The BC Wildfire Service says those who defied the evacuation orders put the lives of police and firefighters at risk. Officials are reminding residents now is not the time to ignore an evacuation order, with the wildfire continuing to spread and burn aggressively. Officials are also urging anyone in the area not to use boats to access the evacuation zone and to keep drones out of the skies, as they are a significant hazard to fire crews fighting the fires. People are also being told not to travel to the central Okanagan area or return to their homes to see if they've been damaged. It is still too dangerous.
Our Janella Hamilton. Thanks, Janella. And for a wider look at the situation across BC, 165 wildfires are still burning out of control. Evacuation orders have been issued and expanded throughout the day. Columbia-Shuswap Regional District has issued an evacuation order for all of Lee Creek and Scotch Creek. An evacuation order is in effect for approximately 11 properties, and the Scotch Creek Bridge has been closed. Fires are spreading along either side of that crossing, blocking off all road access. The Columbia-Shuswap Regional District is transporting people out of the area by boat, and firefighters have had to retreat, leaving sprinklers on. Darius Madavi joins us now with a first look at the conditions in this province. Darius, we heard warnings. This would be one of the most challenging days BC has seen. What are you tracking now?
You're right. We heard yesterday that this was going to be possibly the most challenging 24-hour, 48-hour period for firefighters this year. And it turns out some of those conditions, especially around Kelowna, might be even worse than they were expecting. So we have this sort of lingering effect of that cold front passing through. You can see a lot of those showers hit. More were around this morning, but there's also lots of lightning hitting in some of the places those showers were, but also lightning strikes in some areas where we didn't get showers. So that dry lightning could mean even more fire starts, which is not great in a situation that's already really terrible. Now, I also want to take a look at the drought rating. This is what's really driving those fires. It's probably the root cause in addition to the fire starts. We have just historic levels. Look at where we were at last year. This was heading into a fall that was considered an unprecedented drought situation last fall. And it seems those conditions have carried through into this year. And that's why we see so many places in drought level 5. Just yesterday, Kelowna was bumped up to a level 5. So this is a very dangerous and active situation because everything is so dry. All those fuels are so available. The other thing you can look at here, this is a map of Kelowna and West Kelowna. This is where we're seeing that fire burn. And you can see the winds coming from the northwest. Those winds are going to keep blowing for a while yet. They have calmed down a bit from earlier today. At their peak, they were blowing at anywhere from 30 to 40 kilometers per hour sustained winds, which is much higher than forecasters were expecting at 15 to 20 kilometers per hour. But also the gusts are at 50 to 60 kilometers per hour, which is around what we were expecting. But the sustained winds being so much higher than we thought is really the concern. So that fire is being blown towards the city once again. Those winds might shift to blow even more from the north later today, but the wind speeds do seem to be coming down, so there's good news there at least.
All right, thanks, Darius, and we will check in with you a little later in the show.
Thank you.
For more on what is happening on the ground today, I'm joined by Gord Milsom, Mayor of West Kelowna. Mayor, thank you for being with us on a difficult day. The West Kelowna Fire Chief said just moments ago, this is going to be an incredibly difficult night. What have you been hearing from your constituents?
Obviously, a great concern. This is a significant fire, very aggressive, very threatening. So our residents are anxious, particularly with the number of evacuation orders that are coming down, and we anticipate more. So obviously, when you're asked to leave your home, which they have to leave immediately, it's very concerning. You're leaving all your, a lot of your goods behind, and it's your property, and it's where your families live, and so yeah, they're anxious.
And can you walk us through how the evacuation has gone so far? How much of the city has been impacted?
Well, there's thousands of properties, property owners, residents are either under evacuation alert or evacuation order. As far as under evacuation order, where we've asked residents to leave their homes immediately, we're probably looking at least 3,000 so far within our community. And I'm just concerned that that number is going to be increased significantly as time goes on here this afternoon, this evening.
And for people who are leaving, what is a message that you want them to hear from you at this time?
Well, a couple of messages. One is leave your home immediately. As whenever there's an evacuation order made to a certain street or neighborhood, it's imperative that they leave their homes immediately for their own safety and for the safety of our firefighters and first line responders. Otherwise, we're doing what we can. There's a united front as far as services that are working on their behalf. Our firefighters are just doing an incredible job with regards to saving homes, and we're just going to keep our fingers crossed that all goes well as far as the winds, and hopefully there'll be minimal damage going forward. But we're here to support our residents. Please come to there's an emergency services information center here at Royal LePage Place at 2760 Cameron Road, right by City Hall. So the residents can come and register here, or they can register online. Let us know what their needs are, and hopefully their needs can be accommodated. But it's a matter of staying calm, and we'll get through this together.
And we know this is a very dynamic situation, changing hour by hour. Do you have an update on how many homes may have been lost?
No, I don't. I don't believe that assessment will be made for some time, as I do know that our firefighters are focused on fighting that wildfire, and the battle goes on, and that's where their attention is. And also those areas that are under evacuation order have been kind of blocked off for security reasons, and it'll take some time to fully assess the damage done and the number of structures that have been impacted in a negative way.
Good of you to be with us. We are wishing you all the best.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Meanwhile, a band chief in the lower Similkameen says he's frustrated more resources aren't coming his way. The Crater Creek wildfire near Kirimeo started July 22nd and has grown to more than 22,000 hectares. Chief Keith Crow says a lack of wildfire services for that fire has led to worsening conditions.
We haven't seen a helicopter in 3 days, almost 4 days now. So we're pretty much watching the fire, and it has been pretty stressful. My heart goes out to West Kelowna and everything that's happening out there. There's a lot of structure loss, and I really feel for the people. And but I got to speak up for my community. We need the support as well. Our frustration is this could have been handled, I think, sooner, and now here we are losing structures. We're really monitoring our one subdivision right now. There's 17 homes there, and the fire is right beside it.
In BC's East Kootenay, the out-of-control Horse Thief Creek fire north of Panorama is pushing past man-made guards. As Corey Bullock reports, officials are urging people to keep calm, even as nearly 1,000 properties are under evacuation alert.
Invermere Mayor Al Miller is urging residents to remain calm and vigilant as weather continues to impact the Horse Thief Creek fire.
Staying out of the way, letting our agencies do their proper job, and we'll be well supported, we'll be well looked after.
On Thursday morning, the Regional District of East Kootenay expanded an existing evacuation alert to include more than 900 properties in Panorama, a precautionary measure to make sure residents are prepared should an order come down.
I think this is a good opportunity for residents and visitors to the valley to really have a good look at their own preparation plans and their personal preparation.
The Horse Thief Creek complex is made up of 3 different fires in the Columbia Valley, the Horse Thief Creek being the largest at nearly 4,000 hectares. It started on July 24th, and while crews have made progress with fire guards, Strong says the weather is not helping.
Over the last few days, we've seen those guards be challenged as we see hot, super dry temperatures across the province, including this region, and then winds moving through the area as well.
But the mayor says the community and the fire are in good hands.
We're well looked after here. We have a large contingent of firefighters internationally, and they really have been taking good care of us.
Crews from Australia, the U.S., and Mexico are helping in the Columbia Valley.
It's been a difficult season for many of our crews in the province, and we're super grateful for all of the support that we've received from external agencies.
Miller adds that plans are in place should residents need to be evacuated.
Well, certainly we will have a reception area set up at our community center, and from there we will be pushing them out to available spots,
including hotels and other nearby communities if needed, he says. And in the meantime,
people just need to be calm and let the agencies do their job.
The Regional District of East Kootenay urges everyone in the region to sign up for their evacuation notification system. And anyone on alert should be prepared with a grab-and-go bag that includes essential items like medications, important documents, and ID. Corey Bullock, CBC News, Cranbrook.
Right now, there are flames on both sides of Lake Okanagan. The newer flare-up is on the east side, the Kelowna side, and it's believed to be an offshoot of the main fire. The danger is very real, the situation very volatile. Mira Baines is near Kelowna with more about what we know tonight.
The hills surrounding Lake Okanagan will be lit up again tonight. People anxious to know if their homes are still standing. Flames blown by strong winds, spitting out embers kilometers away.
Just to see the aggression and how the wind and the different colors of the flames and how they candled was just, I was just absolutely devastated and almost fell to my knees.
Evacuation orders expanded through the night and day. The McDougall Creek fire burned closer to West Kelowna as more fires started on the Kelowna side.
This went like a big ugly serpent over the hills and valleys and the crescents of the canyons, and then you see these homes with their lights on just underneath that.
Local officials say there have been significant losses, but how many buildings isn't clear. The situation is still too dangerous for crews to go in and assess the damage.
We fought 100 years worth of fires, all in one night.
West Kelowna's fire chief describes incredible efforts.
We undertook one of the biggest firefights I've ever been a part of in the West Kelowna Estates neighborhood. The firefighters who fought that fire held that ground.
No loss of life, according to officials, but another dire warning for people to leave if ordered to.
At this time, I'm asking British Columbians and tourists to avoid traveling to the central interior and southeast portions of the province if possible.
A catastrophic picture is emerging. Lake Okanagan Resort has burned down.
There's about 4 older apartment buildings on the resort property. The lowest one, the top half of it, was completely on fire.
But RCMP have told residents not to visit the evacuation zone by boat. The airspace above Kelowna International Airport is currently closed, and most flights are canceled. Evacuees are being urged to stay with family and friends.
The worst part is just the waiting at the evac center. They're short-staffed. They don't have enough volunteers.
We ended up being one of the last to leave because we were warning people. I was running door to door. It was scary. It was like running for your life.
There are fears over what the next 24 hours will bring. Mira Baines, CBC News, Kelowna.